Yo, what up? What up? What's going on, y'all? All right, so this is part 4, or the 4th relationship. All right, and this is gonna bring everything up to the present time. All right, so y'all bear with me here. All right, so this one is going to be interesting. So this is actually going to be the 4th and last relationship, but it was actually the shortest. The longest friendship before a relationship, but the shortest relationship. All right, so it started with me being at Walmart. Right, I was at Walmart. I was working at Walmart, and I was also working at the YMCA. And I met a young lady. I went to the back one day, and the young lady, she worked, let me see, let's call her JJ. All right, she worked in the back. I worked in the deli department. So I went to the back one day. I think I went to go get my time or schedule fixed or something like that. Went to the back. Basically just asked her to fix my schedule. She started asking, questions and stuff, blah, blah, blah. One thing led to the other. She was asking about, so you train? It's like, yeah and no. Like, I don't typically train everybody. It's actually like a process. So the very first time that, I meet with someone, basically just run them through some tests and see basically if they qualify. Really, it's more of a testing and see where their head is at, where their mind is at, before I train them. Basically, like, I don't train everybody. If you are, willing to come or meet me halfway with this thing, then, I may be a little bit more open to training people that are willing to put in the work. And so that first process is basically just like or the first time that we meet and you work out with me, it's more like a vetting process, which actually helped a lot later on in life when it comes to choosing people. All right, so I had already started this process a long time ago. I just didn't realize it. Anyway, so the very first time we worked out together, we met at a school and a track or whatever. I was like, hey, make sure you get you something to eat, make sure you bring something to drink, bring some water, because it's gonna be hot out there or whatever. On that track, it tends to be a lot hotter. So we worked out. She did a really, really decent job, as far as pushing herself, blah, blah, blah. And at the end of the workout, she throws up. And I'm like, yo, what? Are you good? Like, you okay? She was like, yeah, I'm fine. I just didn't eat anything before I came out here. I'm just like, what? I could have sworn I specifically said, make sure you get you something to eat. Make sure you bring some water before you work out. I tell all of my clients that or everybody that I work out with, make sure, you get you some breakfast. And depending on what time we meet, lunch or whatever, because your body needs energy in order to burn energy. And with us working out in the afternoon, because I want to say it was closer to the afternoon, it might have even been like 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, and you telling me you haven't eaten anything all day. So after that, I ain't gonna lie, I ghosted her. I was like, yeah, I don't see myself training anybody like this. It was nice. Again, she worked out. I appreciate you for coming out, but yeah, this is the last time that we're going to be doing anything together. So a few weeks or whatever on down the line, for whatever reason, I know she ended up leaving Walmart, and we seen each other somewhere else. It's like, hey, what's going on? Did you change your number? Like, yeah, I changed my number. I was trying to get in contact with you, and I bet you were. It's like, yeah, man, I had to, end up changing my number or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I forgot what was the reason why I told her, and that was, whatever I told her was actually part of the reason why I changed my number. But the other part, like, listen, Dad, don't call, don't text me, man. I don't have time for them shenanigans. For people that do not listen. Anyway, so we end up getting back in contact with each other or whatever. And I remember one day she hit me up. She was texting me and she was telling me something about, you know, her boss. Her boss was giving her a hard time because, you know, something about her natural hair. And, you know, I gave her some really, really sound advice. And, you know, she asked me, she's like, hey, can you pick me up? Like, I work downtown, such and such, but, you know, I'm, you know, basically kind of in my feelings. Is it okay if you pick me up? I was like, yeah, you know, I want to say I was off that day for whatever reason. I was like, yeah, I can pick you up. You know, we can just chop it up or whatever. So I end up picking her up. We end up going back to my place, and I want to say we bowled or something like that. Like I had the Connect, so we did a little bit of bowling or something. I don't know. I'm not sure if anything happened that night or not. I don't know. But anywho, so, you know, her and I spoke again a few weeks later on, and, you know, she was telling me, you know, she was seeing someone. That person was still staying with her. And so I kind of felt like, you know, if you're seeing someone, but y'all not together, but they still staying, which I'm not with that, man. Technically, you're still in a relationship, right? You're still in a relationship, and, you know, anyway, so I guess that person ended up leaving, and then her and I end up becoming, you know, pretty decent friends, hanging out, chilling or whatever. Used to go over there. I ain't gonna lie, and we talked about this. She used to persuade me to come over there. She's like, yeah, you know, I'm cooking burgers tonight or whatever, you know, burger night, blah blah blah. Fix you a plate, you can come over and get something to eat. I was like, okay, cool. So, you know, I used to go over there, grab a little bite to eat. We used to watch movies. I was like, yeah, you know, I got this DVD, man, that stand outside of Shoe Show. Had this guy, you know, used to sell, especially on Sundays, he would sell DVDs for $1. It's like, hey, you know, I got plenty of DVDs we can watch. You know, we used to watch movies or whatever. Some of them were scary, which I wasn't really with, but I was like, yeah, you know, we can watch a movie. So her and I actually used to sit on this little chair called Jeffrey or something, whatever the chair name was. She used to call it, a little small sofa. And she was trying to get me. We talked about this as well. You know, when I used to go over there, she'll have on some short shorts and a hoodie. And I'm just like, yo, bro, it's cold in here. Why the hell do you got on short like little booty shorts or whatever? But, you know, I'm trying not to pay it no mind or whatnot, what have you. Anyway, one night we end up, you know, getting together or whatnot. We end up getting together and, you know, whatever. And fast forward about 2-3 years down the line, you know, after figuring out, yo, this guy's a pretty decent catch, he got it going on, you know what I'm saying? It seems like he has all his ducks in a row. You know, we're cool, you know, like, you know, the friendship and everything is there. And, you know, you ever thought about like a relationship or whatnot? And one thing about me, like, if we just kicking it in the beginning and we just kicking it, nothing extra or whatnot, then I'm just gonna look at you, you know, just for that. I'm thinking, you know, if you want a relationship with someone or you want a relationship, then that's how, you know, you should approach. Hey, you know, I'm looking for a relationship. You know, I think that you're a solid guy, blah, blah, blah. We can get together. But, none that was said. It didn't come up until like a few years after. So I'm just like, a relationship? I don't know. I mean, I can see. And so, honestly, again, that vetting process, watching how someone is moving, not just what they are saying, and everything in me was basically saying she is a great friend, good person, but I don't honestly see a relationship here. You know what I mean? Like, as far as where I am right now. And I think that I am more aware when it comes to, you know, those things more now than ever. Like, after, you know, seeing, you know, all these people talk about different relationships and really not just listening to what people say, but really paying attention to how people move and paying attention to people's patterns, paying attention to people's past relationships, and see how those people that they were in a relationship with, or that they used to have sex with or whatever, see how those people now view this person. It's like, I don't know. I mean, this person seems like a cool person. This person seems like a genuine person. But if that is true, then I don't think that, you know, a person's ex would honestly seem like they have like a grudge or a hatred or something towards them. It doesn't seem right, man. You know, and someone that you have had children with, they look at you a certain type of way, like with disgust, like they don't want to, you know. And I'm just like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I mean, like, we can see, but you know how you are. You know, you pay close attention to, again, how people move. So anyway, fast forward until the time where we go from being friends, being cool, to no longer being cool, right? So we get to a point where I want to say we were on the podcast, and based on some things that I had seen, based on some things that I had heard, based on some information and stuff, how I wanted to move, I was like, yeah, I'm not sure if marriage is really something for me. So if you want to be married, then, you know, it's time for you to go find someone that, you know, is marriage minded. You know what I mean? If you want to be married, because I don't see myself being married. And yeah, we're cool, yeah, we're kicking it, but that's about it. Like, I don't honestly have a relationship for you. And she took that information, which I completely understand. She took that information and she was like, listen, he's not looking to be married right now, so maybe it's time for me to move on. Respect that. So I want to say it was like her brother had a get together in Miami. Brother had a get together in Miami. Keep in mind, we're not together. And she flew out to Miami or whatever. And her and I were having conversations while she was out in Miami. And I don't know, it was just something that was just, it was a weird vibe, bro. She got there, you know, she would call, you know, and the conversations seemed like they were kind of rushed. Like, I already kind of felt like I joked with her, right? I was joking with her because I knew it was off. I was like, man, I'm gonna catch a little flight out there and what's the name? She was like, no, you enjoy your time with your family. Right then and there, I already kind of peeped game. I was like, oh, okay. All right, I respect it. I know what's going on. So, again, I respect it. So, come to find out, it was a guy down there that, I don't know if her brother was introducing her to or whatever. They had met at like a family gathering. I don't know if he came to, I don't know what it was. It was her brother's friend, and he was single. She was single. She was completely single, you know. So again, I respect that part. And so she got back from Miami, you know, after, you know, chilling or whatnot, being down there, and I felt the distance. I felt the distance between, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, okay. I remember what happened while I was down there, blah, blah, blah. And she hit me with, hey, you don't have to leave tonight. Because I was actually I went and spent a few nights or whatever with her at her mom's house, right? In the back room. And we were chilling, we were kicking it. And she was like, you don't have to leave tonight, but, what we got going on right now basically needs to stop. And I was like, okay, I respect that. And I started packing my stuff up. I was about to leave. She's like, you don't have to leave tonight. You can leave, in the morning. It's like, okay, I respect that. And I'm laying down I'm laying down on my little Tesla mattress or whatever. And she trying to give herself to me, and even right then and there, I was already kind of like turned off a little bit. Anywho, so what ends up happening, of course, we slept together. After that, I end up, getting my stuff the next morning. I want to say I had to go to work. After that, end up just going back and, just chilling or whatnot, falling back. And a few weeks later, I cannot remember exactly why, but I went back over to her mother's house, and I want to say, I think she was braiding my hair. She was braiding my hair. She was braiding my hair for me, and she had a picture of her and the new guy on the phone. I was like, oh, you didn't tell me you were, you had a boyfriend or whatever. I would have had, because I had other people to do my hair. I would have had somebody else do my hair, because this can be looked at as being disrespectful. Another man in between your legs or whatever, blah, blah, blah. You're like, no, you're fine, it's no biggie. It's like, okay, cool. So anyway, she was supposedly like, okay, so the cat, what is it? The cat is out the bag or whatever. So now I know that, she has somebody new. I'm respecting it, falling back. And they were going out one night, and she was texting me. She was texting me and telling me, what was going on. I was just like, hey, not trying to be funny, but you need to, stop texting me and enjoy your time with him. Like, I would find that like highly offensive. You sitting there trying to text another guy, somebody that you used to have sex with. You're sitting there texting another guy while we're out on a date. Like, that's not cool. And she was like, oh, okay, I can see what you're saying. Okay, I got you. So, she stopped texting or whatever. And it was one day, I forgot exactly how this went down, but this is when it kind of hit the fan, right? And it was something about not being on time for something, man. It had something to do with time. And she was like freaking 30, 45 minutes late. And, I'm like, we had already talked about this at such and such time, blah, 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 whatever. And she was like 45, 50 minutes. I'm just like, bruh. Like, now I felt like I was a little bit, that's kind of like disrespectful. Like, one thing about me is I try to make sure that I respect people's time. And I was like, you know what? From now on, man, you no longer have to say anything else to me. All right? And I could be wrong. I was like, you know what? You no longer have to say anything else to me. You know what I'm saying? From this point on, you're just going about your business. I will not contact you anymore. Blah, blah, blah. Because at the very least, you could have easily sent me a text message and say, hey, I'm going to be 10 minutes late. Hey, I'm going to be 20 minutes late. Hey, as a friend, somebody that's, again, waiting on you to handle something or whatever the case may be, you tell me you're going to be here at 12:30, and here it is almost 2 o'clock, and I'm sitting here waiting. No text message, no phone call, no nothing. I'm just sitting here waiting like, hey, hey, let me know if you're not going to be able to make it, then I can go ahead and just slide out or whatever. You show up, no apology, no nothing. I was like, okay, cool. From here on out, Like, this is it. Cutting the friendship off, because if you can't, you know what I'm saying, at least be a friend and respect my time, then there's no need for us to even continue this friendship respectfully. And so she busts out crying. I'm like, yo, what? Like, you were just being disrespectful about, again, not, you know what I'm saying? So she is in the middle of the street crying hard as heck. And I end up saying some things that I honestly regret. Alright? And the only reason why I say that I regret is because, well, we'll get to that part. So we went from that to talking about being in a relationship. Rocky grounds. Already starting off on rocky grounds. And the relationship, you know what I'm saying, it ended up being like this. I was like, well, you need to, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and, you know, whatever. So, man, fast forward a week later, we're in a relationship. We're in a relationship and we end up going to Las Vegas. And when we got to Las Vegas, we had a blow up. I can't remember exactly what it was for, but she was like, you know, what is the use of us even being out here? And in the midst of all this, I end up saying the L word. And I don't say the L word a lot, but I want to say, we were having a conversation. Okay, I remember now. We were having a conversation in front of her house. At this time, she had got her house, and we were sitting there talking. I was in the back seat. She was in the front seat, and I'm like, yo, what? You know, what's up? Why were you crying? Like, what's up? You know, you don't understand like how much, you know, I L you and all this other stuff, and you know, I done put all this time and this effort out, and for you to say that we can no longer be friends, like, that hurts. You don't understand, like, this, that, the third. She kept saying the L word, and I was like, bro, you gotta fix this, man. You have to fix this. You, like, you know, again, this girl is out there boo-hoo crying and everything, but you gotta fix it. So I end up saying the L word. And man. Before that situation, I am very, very particular about using that word, that L word. Really, really particular about that, man. I don't use that word lightly. And that day, for about a few months, constantly lying. We had a conversation about this as well, man. Me lying and saying that word to try to fix something, fix a problem or an issue that I started. And at the time, I was like, I'm just thinking to myself, like, bro, you have to fix this. And so her and I end up getting together or whatever. You know, she was staying in Charlotte. I had a spot in Gastonia. Well, had a spot in Gastonia, and we were spending a lot of time together. We were together for a few months. I want to say it was like maybe a month and a half. Maybe, I'll give it about 2 or 3 months. Because I end up ending the relationship. I ended the relationship because of how it started. You know, I basically just telling her, hey, we started the relationship completely wrong, and I don't want it to be like that. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. Let me go ahead and take it back. When she was crying, I was thinking to myself, you owe her. Yes, you owe her. She's been waiting on a relationship and she's never gotten it. She's been waiting on a relationship with you and she's never gotten it. She's been here day after day after day after day, week after week. You owe her that relationship. You owe her a relationship. It may not be the best. You may not think that this young lady is girlfriend material or whatever, but regardless of what you say, my friend, you owe her that much. You owe her. Allow her to be your girlfriend. Allow her to be on your arm, even if it's temporary, even if it's short-lived, even if it's not real. You owe her that. And so I end up giving her what she wanted. So because we actually took a day to kind of like sit on it or whatever, and that whole entire day that I'm thinking while I'm at work, like, bro, you owe her, point blank period. Like, you owe her. You owe her that much. Go ahead and give her exactly what it is that she has honestly worked for. Like, she's worked for that. Give her that, bro. And so again, after adding everything up, I was like, okay, I'm gonna give her a relationship. And people can honestly feel when you're being genuine, and people can honestly they can feel that. And I respect her for what ended up happening in the end. All right, so end up again allowing that thing to go from one thing to the next, and I was like, everything that she technically kind of worked for, just go ahead and give it to her, bro. Just go ahead and give it to her, because I honestly want to see exactly where her headspace is at. My thing is, I like to only give people enough rope to hang themselves, but where they can't technically do too much damage to me. So you've been asking for a relationship. You do want to be married. So I want to see, honestly, how would this person act when they are in a relationship, right? Because we had some really, really great times as friends, as, just two cool people just kicking it, no strings attached. But people honestly change when a title comes into play. Oftentimes people get complacent. Oftentimes, people get bored. People start thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. Not saying this was, I wasn't saying that this is true for this particular situation, but just based on relationships and things that I have seen in the past, again, paying attention to habits, patterns, and everything with people, I wanted to get to know the person behind whatever mask they are showing. So I was trying to figure out, because I'm like, why in the world? And I tried to do some deep diving and try to figure out like what was going on in that head, in the head space, right? And so, we spoke, we talked, and I honestly believed, I may be wrong, but I was like, I just feel like, she don't really like men. And here's what I mean by that, right? I think that she don't really have any respect for guys. And so we started to, again, have the conversation. Hey, like, what is your outlook on your dad? You know what I mean? Like, because I see you oftentimes getting into it, with your pops or whatnot, man. Like, do you think that it is something like deeper that's going on? Like, you feel like you need to talk to him, and out comes a different person. Defensive, argumentative, don't want to talk about things, I'm just like, if you're going to be with me, you have to be willing to grow. You have to be willing to, approach things with an open mind. And I honestly believe, I could be wrong, and this is why we go seek therapy, right? We go seek therapy to to dig deeper than the surface. Because on the surface, a therapist could talk about, you know, your current relationship. That's what a person is getting paid to be a therapist. But a person that actually has a passion for it, that actually, and I'm only saying this because I think that, you know, the therapist that I was speaking with, honestly, was a really, really good therapist, because they got in there from the root. Like, let's go to your childhood. I want you to tell me about your childhood, how you grew up. And from that, they could honestly pinpoint a lot of things that were going on, that went on with me as a young kid, that I still struggle with today. And so I was trying to use some of that, to basically kind of, hey, this could be a reason why, you know, it's harder for you to, you know, basically respect men, I believe. And, you know, again, this could be my personal, and I didn't put it like that, but I was just basically asking questions around that subject. Like, you know, what are your thoughts on your dad? You know, have y'all ever sat down and just had a conversation? Have you ever explained to him how you felt? Like, you know, because you talk to me and tell me about, you know, some struggles and stuff that you had, and how you blame him for certain things. And, you know, I'm just asking, have you ever had these conversations with him? No, because you can't talk to him. Like, have you tried? Okay, I'll try to talk to him. Okay, you know, that's the only thing that we can ask for. And I mean, I'm not calling this person a liar and saying but hopefully, if she hasn't, hopefully she goes and she has that conversation. I believe that will honestly help benefit her a lot more, like, especially later on in life, right? But especially when it comes to getting with someone, being in a relationship, and being committed to someone for a lifetime. I'm only saying that because, listen, I myself have had struggles with men, with guys. Like, I could not be in a room with a guy for longer than a few minutes without wanting to fight and pointing out, you know, you had a grudge against your dad. Like, a lot of that is honestly stemming from that. And let's just say this, people can tell a complete different change from how I used to be to how I am today. And I honestly believe that it stemmed from my childhood, and being able to work through those things, and actually going and speaking with him and having that conversation, man, end up becoming a better person because of it. Anyway, let's not make this about me. Anyway, so by having those conversations, having these uncomfortable conversations, there was a lot of things that we were talking about, that we could talk about, but it just seems like every time it was time to really zero in and go and get at that root. And I was like, listen, even if it's not with me, I said this a few times, even if it's not with me, I still want you to be in a healthy and good space. Kind of already like preparing it, like, listen, I don't honestly see this moving to marriage, because I don't honestly see, you know, a certain mindset that I'm looking for when it comes to being a wife. And you have to be open and willing to change. You have to be open and willing to have these really, really tough conversations, because it's going to help benefit you in the long run. And I was like, if you need for me to be there with you to make sure don't nobody mess with, like, I got you. I got, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm there as a friend. Like, I got you. No matter what. You know what I'm saying? If you want to have that conversation, at least attempt to have that conversation. Didn't get there. Did not get there, man. Did not really get in and get to the root of that doggone thing. And trauma becomes stress, and that stress breaks you down. It makes you look older. It, you know, makes you gain weight. It changes your mood. It changes your appetite. It changes your outlook on how you look at the world, how you look at yourself. And that is honestly a reflection of who you are. If you're not willing to change, so I'm just like, ugh. Like, I tried, man. You know what I'm saying? I approached this thing with, let's see. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. But anywho, now a few months on down the line, whatnot, we get to the point where, again, we're not in a relationship. Because I end up ending it, you know what I'm saying? I end it or whatever. And now she lets her home go and she comes and she stays with me. She's staying with me, all right? You don't have to pay bills. You don't have to cook. You don't have to clean. But the only thing that I ask is that you maintain. She even came to me one day. She was like, what do you want me to do? Like, there's nothing really around the house for me to do. You know what I'm saying? You pay all the bills. You clean up yourself. Like, this house is always spick and span, like freaking top to bottom, spotless. You know, I mean, I can cook because I'm here, but I was already providing and cooking my own food, so I didn't necessarily need that. Appreciate it. But I told her, these are my exact words, you don't have to do any of those things. The only thing that I ask is that you maintain. That was one of the main things. Maintain. So if you're dirty up, clean up. That's it. If you're dirty up, clean up. That's the only thing that I expect as far as what to do around the house. Keep my house clean. That's it. That's all I ask. After working 8, 10, 12 hours, whatever. Only thing I want is when I come in the house for it to be a clean house. Not much to ask for. And I also had one more thing that I asked of her. Get out of debt. Credit card bills, student loans, whatever. You use this time to make sure that you get out of student loan debt, make sure you get out of credit card debt, whatever. You can use this time to use me. I don't mind. I'm not stressing. I'm not going to complain. I'm not one of those people. I'll take care of the light bill, the rent, the gas, everything. You use all of your money from your paychecks. I don't want a dime out of that doggone paycheck. You focus on getting out of debt. If I'm lying, I'm flying. You can ask her. Those are my exact words. Focus on getting out of debt. That's it. And on one of the last days that she was, at the house, she showed me. She sent me a picture, or she showed me a screenshot or whatever of her credit score. Credit score went from being horrible to, I want to say she had like a 730 something. And she was telling me, I was thinking about getting this place. And this was another issue that her and I had as well. I was thinking about getting this place. My credit score is good. I got more than enough money saved, down payment, blah, 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 blah. And I was thinking about, I was like, okay, cool. How much is it? I want to say that home was like $300,000-$400,000. I was like, good grief. Okay, like what you doing, fam? Like why you why are you spending all that money? Like, you're gonna be paying that off for the next 30 years. I was just asking her, are you cool with that? You comfortable with that? Yeah. It's like, okay, so you feel like you're making a good decision. I start asking questions or whatever. And she even told me, she was like, I honestly did not think about it like that. I appreciate it. Like all of these questions and stuff, these things that you're asking me, I honestly didn't think about that. It's like, yeah, but just before you make a decision, just, make sure you consider those things. The decision was already made. Like, she had already, spoke to the realtor or whatever, and I guess put like a certain amount of money down and all that other stuff. And I was like, if you're coming to me to honestly ask for my input on something, and I'm thinking, the decision hasn't been made or whatever, again, if That's just like one of your friends come to you and they be like, yo, I'm thinking about going to go get this car. Or I'm thinking about giving my ex a second chance. And you go to the house and the ex is living with him. But I thought you said, or you already put a down payment on the car. I thought you was asking me because you wanted my honest opinion. But I respect it, man. There was a lot of little things like that in the friendship that I seen that it's like, you know, if you're asking for my opinion, I don't mind giving it. But don't ask for my opinion after you've already made a decision. That was my only issue. Anywho, so we're at this point now. Again, she's staying with me. Credit score is good. I don't know if she got out of debt or not, but I'm pretty sure, I'm hoping, you know, she ended up getting out of debt or whatever, creating a better space, a better start for herself. Applause, kudos. I am so glad that, you know, you were able to do that. And so, a young lady sent me a screenshot of what was it? A passport. Been knowing this young lady for a minute, man, like almost a decade. Sweet as gold. And asked me, you know, can you print this out for me? Sure. Yeah, I can print it out. So I guess she was checking my messages. I left the device, you know, I left most of my devices at home besides my phone. Got the passcode to all of them, so I'm not hiding anything. You want to check it, check it. I got a text message while I was at work. I cannot be with someone that got their foot in another door or something like that. Read the text message, and she seen that I read it because, you know, not Facebook, but Apple shows you that they done read the text message. And I put the phone down. Sent another text message. Your key is, you know, in the mailbox. Read the message, deleted it, you know, deleted all. Like, okay. You know, basically, you know, I'm out. I'm leaving. I'm gonna go back and stay with my mom until my place is ready. And did not contact her, didn't hit her up, didn't do any of these things for weeks. Out of nowhere, I get a phone call. Get a phone call out of nowhere. You know, basically giving me the rundown or whatever, blah, 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 you know. And I'm just like, what's up? Like, you know, when I left, you know what I'm saying? She was like, I guess she was upset because I didn't call, I didn't text her after she sent those messages. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. So I read the 48 Laws of Power, right? I read the 48 Laws of Power, and when I tell you that book is phenomenal. But what you do is, I don't want to give away too much, but you allow somebody to think or believe that they have more power than they do. Again, give them enough rope to hang themselves, and you watch them do what they were going to do, what they were planning to do. You know, you going through those messages and, again, interpreting whatever you interpreted out of that message, because that message, in that message, it didn't say anything about, you know, come sleep with me. In that message, it didn't say anything about, you know, we gonna do this, we gonna do that. It was just a simple, can you print this off for me? And that was grounds for her to leave. And again, if you move correctly, then you're gonna always be good no matter what. And I look at it like this. She is basically saving us both a headache by leaving. If you want to go, that door is open. I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to, you know, beg for you to come back. I'm not going to text you. I'm not going to text. I'm not going to call. I'm going to allow you to move how it is that you want to move. There is not going to be any ill will towards you. There is not going to be any grudges. There's not going to be any, again, anything. You want to leave? There's a door, respectfully. And so, she hit me up again after that, you know what I'm saying? And she told me, since we haven't been together, I've been crying, I've been doing all this, and I'm thinking to myself, you did all this to yourself. I didn't, tell you to leave. I didn't force you to leave. You left on your own free will. You left because you felt some type of way about whatever. And again, I'm not going to sit here and play these games with you because I'm a grown man and I got a million thousand other things that I need to be focusing on. I'm trying to get this, that, third. I ain't going to put all that stuff out. What I'm trying to get done. And one thing that you do not want is a combative person, someone that's going to continue to stir the pot, someone that's going to continue to create chaos out of nothing. And I was like, yo, this is, again, the 48 laws of power. This is the perfect ending to what's going on right now. That person wants to leave. That person that's creating chaos, let them go. All right. And we also, I gotta make sure I put this out there as well. We also had a conversation, and I believe this kind of got to her as well, about me saying the L word. About me, telling her, I came out and I was just honest with her. I was like, listen, another reason why I ended the relationship was because basically, I was lying to you by saying the L word. When somebody says the L word to you, most of the time you want to return the favor by saying it back to them. You know what I mean? And for a while I got caught up in that. And I was like, the first things first, man, you need to be honest with yourself. You need to be honest with yourself. You need to be honest with her. So let me go ahead and cut this thing off right now, right? Gangrene, man. Cut that arm off if you have to. So we had to go ahead and cut that mug off and be real with her. I was like, I always have, and probably always will have love for you. It's always gonna be there. We cool, like the other side of the pillow. You are a phenomenal young lady, and I believe, well, this actually came out a little bit later, as far as I believe that she's going to find a guy that is more than willing to get on her program and rock out with her, or whatever it is that she's trying to do with her life. I honestly believe that. Still believe that to this day, man. Again, she's not a bad person at all. Not a bad person. Great, phenomenal person. Got a good head on their shoulders. And I honestly expect great things. I would honestly not be surprised if she is not engaged to be married right now, or if she's not married within a year or two. I honestly would not be surprised at all to a guy that is, again, more than willing to, to rock with her, because she is not a bad person, man. And her family is cool as heck, man. Brothers, sisters, moms, even her pops. I thought her pops was funny. She did, but I thought her pops was doggone. I thought he was hilarious, man. Anyway, again, had those conversations, man. That tough conversation about the L word, saying the L word, and I think that really kind of affected her and really, again, put things into perspective as how it is that she needs to move. That's that closure that she needed. I believe she honestly got that closure, man. She got that closure, and she was like, he took the relationship away from me. And he told me that he wasn't in love with me, that he had love for me. And, again, didn't honestly mean to hurt her. And I mean, when I think about it, it honestly sucks. But at the time, like, in my mind, it was justified. I was like, yo, this is how things should be. Like, if she worked for it, give her that title of being that girlfriend. I made sure. She's never been on a date in her life, so I took her on her first date. She, I want to say I even picked out a freaking outfit pretty much. But, had a great time, man. Had a time of her freaking life. Not once has she ever had a guy that has stepped up, paid for everything. Took her out and paid for everything. Night on the town, comedy club, nice restaurant, you know what I'm saying? Watching, what you call it? I don't know, was it a sunset? I don't know. Chill, basically downtown, man, and just vibed out, man. Vibed out, did a little bit of vlogging or whatever in the meantime, between time, and great times. Some great and phenomenal times, you know what I'm saying? So I felt like my debt was paid. All right, that's just how I look at it. Like, listen, I said that I would go back, I would give it a try, I would, try to give her the things that I felt like, she deserved for waiting, sticking around and all that other stuff. And I did that. So again, when I say the perfect exit, that was the perfect exit. That's the reason why I did not chase behind her. Reason why I didn't call, I didn't text. The reason why I'm still not calling, I'm still not texting. Like, listen, that thing could not have ended more perfect. All right? Because in the end, she got a chance to again be my girlfriend, be on the spotlight. She wanted to be seen with me. I put posts out, I put videos, I put pictures, gave her all of those things, the dates, gave her those things. She got a chance to clear out a lot of her debt. That's the reason why her credit score ended up being what it was. She ended up, getting that house that she wanted. And I believe, from everything that she was telling me, like, this is the house of her dreams. And even if she is, however long, she gonna pay it off with her husband or whatever, she is in a better position than she was the first time I left. All right? So again, hey, you can say what you want to say about the dog, man. Say what you want to say about the dog. It is what it is. The proof is in the mother loving pudding, man. The proof is in the mother loving pudding. But again, after that, we end up having a few conversations. She called me again one morning. It was, come on, fam, chill out. It was at like 7 o'clock in the freaking morning. I was at work at my, I had a part-time job at the time. Anyway, called me at like 7 in the morning. I'm just like, yo, hello? She was like, hey, like, what's up? She was like, we were talking or whatever, and honestly, I've gained some weight. And, I was wondering if, you can basically just give me some pointers here and there. One thing about us is we train, we work decent together when it comes to working out. Like, of course, I'm a motivator. You know what I'm saying? I used to be a trainer, do an excellent job at that. During COVID, when everybody else was picking up weight, she was losing. She was losing, and she was damn near in like one of the best shapes of her doggone life as far as strength and mind goes. When everybody else was panicking and going through those things, man, listen, on point. I had so many different workouts, that was set up, that was lined up, that, was taken care of or whatever. And she stepped on the scale and she had gained almost 30 pounds. It might have been over 30 pounds. And she was like, thing has been going to heck, it's been hard for me to eat, sleep. It's like, I hear you, but I feel like it's something deeper than that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you called me for another reason. And, push came to shove, blah, 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 man. Anyway, I'm just like, yo, yes, you know, you done gained 30 pounds, but you're gonna have to do something, man. You gotta start doing something, you know, start exercising, start working out. I can send you some things here and there to get started. I want to say I have started another challenge. You're more than welcome to go on Katie's Fitness and check it out and see, you know, what we got planned, what we got going on or whatever, and you can join in that, man, because even though we not cool, like I don't want to see you freaking, you know, 50, 60, 80, 100 pounds overweight. Like, I want you to lose weight. I want you to that doesn't benefit me when I see someone that I used to be around, used to kick it with, in a bad position, because believe it or not, people still kind of look at it like that, like, bro, that's who you used to talk to? Like, no, I want to see you thrive, and I want to see, you know, my ex is getting married, you know what I'm saying, find a husband. Listen, I will brag on somebody in a mother-loving second. You know what I'm saying? Like my first, I was bragging on her. You know, she done got in shape and working out or whatever. She got some pointers for me, but we ain't gonna talk about that. But no, man, like that's what I want. I honestly want that for everybody, man. I want to see everybody succeed and everybody make it. But anyway, you know, she gained some weight or whatnot, man, and it's been a while since her and I have spoken. But again, I blame myself for that situation. I blame myself for, you know, allowing it to get that far. I blame myself for, you know, how things went down, how things happened. But I will say this, you know, everything happens for a reason. And again, there is still no ill will or anything towards her. Still a phenomenal person. Phenomenal person, man. Pots and pans, you know, still cool. Family still cool. It's still, you know what I'm saying, love over this way. And I hope that, you know, she gets everything that she wants in life, and she continues to push, continue to push and get through anything, man. Because she definitely got the heart for it. I would definitely say that, man. Definitely got the heart for it. But y'all let me know, what do you guys think, man? This was definitely the longest. This was the last one. I wanted to make sure that I kind of went into detail with this one. But yeah, I would love to hear from you guys. What do you guys think, man? Do y'all think that, you know, I shouldn't have said or told her the L word? Do you guys think that I should have gotten out, you know what I'm saying? Or y'all just let me know. What do you guys think down below, man? You think I went about it the wrong way? Was I wrong? Am I mean? Am I, you know, let me know. All right. Anyway, man, y'all be blessed. Y'all be beautiful. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Blueberry, Burberry, button-up. Tan skin, mixed race, buttercup. Canada weather, got a bundle up. I'm tryna work, she hit my phone, she wanna, whoa.